So the palette I am using today is the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette by Morphe. Please excuse this
mess. I use it a lot. I use it almost every day, or if not every day, every other day.
Probably know that majority of you guys might have this in your collection. I love this palette. So I'm gonna go into like this coral pinky shade and we're gonna put that in our crease. I wanted to do something simple and easy for beginners, and so that's cute for spring or summer even. We're gonna pair this look up with a dewy skin, but we'll get into that later after this look is finished. So I am taking a fluffy blending brush and we're putting this color in our crease. This is gonna be our transition shade. And we're using windshield wiper motions. And as you could tell, I have my hand holding the brush midway, so it's not so pigmented, because the further down of the brush you are holding it, it will further down that you're holding the brush, it will be really pigmented and really dark. So we want it light. So we're just going to use windshield wiper motions and just bring that up to the brow bone area, and we're just gonna blend until it's light, until we can't blend anymore. And around the corner of the eye, I'm using circular motions. Alrighty, so this is what you should have. The next color, we are going into this bright pink-ish color, pinkish. What color would you guys? This color anyways. We're gonna go into this color right here and we're gonna put that on our lid. And to do so, we're using a flat eyeshadow brush just like this one. This brush is by, I think, BH Cosmetics as well. So we're just gonna bring this color up to the crease, but not to cover up the eyeshadow that we just put on. But if we do lose any of the transition shade, that is okay. We're just gonna go back into it anyways. So it should look like something like this. Now we're gonna go back into that light coral pinky shade and we're just gonna blend it out. Just marry these two colors together. Now onto the skin. So the primer I like to use is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I like to use this to blur out my pores, where my pores are the biggest, which is right around here on my cheek area, my nose area. And I also like to put a little on my chin area. Sorry if you see me looking this way, I am looking at a mirror. Now lately I've been liking the NYX Professional Freeze Primer. I love this stuff. I love how it feels after you put it on your skin. It feels cool. Like there's a cooling sensation. It is a sticky kind of base, for a sticky primer base, and it also moisturizes your skin at the same time, and that's pretty cool. I like that idea in a primer, because my skin can get pretty dry. And then we're just going to pat this on.
There's like a cooling sensation after it's been on your face for a while, and I love that. I love that feeling. I don't know why, I just do.
See, it sticks. It's a sticky base, so that's good. It will help the foundation stay on, stick as well. Since my skin is now prepped, I am going to set my face with a super dewy setting spray by Makeup Revolution, because I really want my skin to look dewy and snowy. We're just gonna go ahead, spray that before the foundation, and I'm gonna fan it out just a little bit so it's not overdone. It will also help the primer stay in longer, to stay on. So for the foundation, I like to use for a glowy skin type, I like to go in with the e.l.f. Halo Glow foundation. I really love this foundation, especially when my skin is looking really nice and it's not breaking out, and I feel confident in it. Definitely when my skin is breaking out, I like to wear more of a full-on coverage kind of foundation, but when it's not breaking out at all and my skin looks nice, I like to wear more of a sheer or a medium coverage. This is definitely a medium coverage. So, gonna blend that out.
With a sponge, with a damp sponge.
Definitely want this to be damp. It helps blend out your foundation a lot. As you can tell, this foundation is very glowy, and that's what we want for glowy skin. some up here, around my nose, mustache area. So for concealer, I like to use the Milani Conceal and Perfect Concealer. It's definitely a long wear kind of a concealer. We're gonna put some right here to conceal these dark circles that I have. I don't like them at all. And we're just gonna bring it up like that. It'll give your eyes more of a lift so it's not sagging down. I'm trying my best not to use as much concealer as I did before back in the day, but you know. Highlight forehead area. I like to use this to spot conceal as well when I need to. Now we're gonna blend this out. I like to use a brush first. Going in with my cream contour by Juvia's Place. I'm using a fluffy brush. And we're gonna contour up so it can give us a illusion of a face of a lifted cheek. So we're just gonna go ahead and bronze up our face and contour our face. So we don't want to drag it all the way down just so our face doesn't look dragged down or anything like that. We just want to keep it up here. As you can tell, it's giving you an illusion of a lifted cheek. And that's what we want. We don't want our face looking all dragged out, dragged down or anything like that. Contour the forehead. Now we're gonna contour the nose. I really want to try to get better at contouring my nose. I don't think I do a very good job at contouring my nose. I do an okay job, I think. I don't do too much to it anyways, but I do like to bring the bronzer across the nose, under my nose, to give me a button kind of nose. And then I like to set my cream contour. You don't have to. If you want to keep it really glowy like this, you can. That's what I like about this cream contour. It's glowy, and if you don't like glitter in your cream contour, you definitely won't like it. I'm going in with my Juvia's Place bronzer, and we're gonna go ahead and set that cream product that we just put down. Okie dokie. Now I'm gonna go in with blush. I'm gonna use, I forgot to grab out a blush. I'm gonna use the Milani cream blush. It's in the color Cheek. The blush I am using is by Milani. This is a cream blush. It's in the color Coral Crush, and it's super pretty. I've only used it once. So when I picked this up the first time, I thought this was like a powdered blush, and I was gonna pair it up with the e.l.f. liquid blush, but I found out it's not a powder blush. And we're just gonna keep the blush up here where we put our contour. And you want to be very, very careful with this blush because it's super pigmented. Just put on a little bit at a time, and so you can have it to where you want it to be. Because if you put too much right at once, it's over with. It's gonna be hard to blend out. So you just want to keep building and building to the pigmentation that you want it to be at. I like to marry my blush in with the bronzer just so it can look all nice together, nice and seamless. I like to put a little bit on my nose. All right, so I like to set my cream blush with blushes. So this is one thing I forgot to grab out. I started filming. So I'm gonna use the BH Cosmetics Bellin Blush Palette. I got this a few years ago. I don't think they have it anymore, but we're gonna use this blush right here. It's called Peach Please, and we're we're gonna set that green blush that we just put down. And be careful with this blush as well because it's super pigmented. Again, you don't have to set it if you don't want to. You can keep it nice and creamy if you like. Me, on the other hand, I like to set it. Especially when I'm going into work, I like to set it. Perfect. So now we're gonna set our face, set everywhere that we don't want all dewy and glowy. We're gonna use the Morphe Jumbo translucent powder. I like this translucent powder, or I like the setting powder, I should say. It's nice and fine and it doesn't dry out my under eyes at all. So we're gonna set the concealer underneath our eyes just so it doesn't creep or budge anywhere. We're also gonna carve out our nose a little. I like to carve out my contour and my blush a bit more. Also, I'm just gonna put a little here just because I dragged it down a little too much, and I'm just gonna blend the blush out a little bit, the setting powder. So that's a little trick if you think you have a little too much blush. Okay, perfect. Now we're gonna go ahead and take a fluffy face brush and we're just gonna wipe away that extra powder. So I like to use the setting spray again, and this is just gonna help melt the setting powder into your skin and melt everything together. And I like doing that before I put mascara on my lower lashes, just because when I do put it on after my mascara, it gets the mascara everywhere. Where's my finger? I'm always losing stuff. Never a video of me not losing things. Now we are gonna use some highlighter, my favorite part. I like using my Ace Beauty Glow highlighter palette. This is my absolute favorite. I'm gonna be really sad when all the colors are gone to use to highlight my face. So I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. It has a pink, iridescent of pink in it, so. Rude. Don't you know I'm filming? But the color is called Poppin', and we're just using a highlighter brush by Morphe. It's gonna highlight the highest points of the cheeks. Now, I feel like I blended a little too much away for the blush. That's okay, we're gonna fix that. All right, so I'm gonna add a little bit more blush because I feel like I blended a little too much away. That's just me. I like a lot of blush. I love blush. Blush is like one of my absolute favorite things. So for lips, I am using this lip pencil by LA Girl in the color Sensational. And I'm just gonna use this as my lipstick too, so. We're almost done. I just need to add one more thing. Going back into the Jaclyn Hill palette, and we are taking this white pink iridescent shimmer shade, and we're gonna put that in our inner corner. Just like so. And one more thing. I like to add a little bit more of a shimmer in the inner corner. I'm gonna go into the Ace Beauty highlight palette and using the color Icy and just bring a little bit more shimmer, actually more of a glow, and as a brow bone highlight. And this is the finished look. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up so I can know to do more videos like this one. Also, let me know in the comments below what other kind of beginner friendly makeup tips and tricks you like for me to do, and makeup looks you like for me to do for beginners as well. Also, subscribe to my channel to become part of my family here on YouTube if you are new, and I will talk to y'all in my next one. Bye.